Thanks for downloading SiteGrinder3. This video series will get you started in installing SiteGrinder and set up Photoshop CS5 to run in 32-bit mode. After you've downloaded SiteGrinder3, double-click the zipped file. This will unzip the DMG file which contains the installer. Double-click the DMG file to then launch the installer. When that loads, you'll be greeted by a big orange gear. Double-click the gear to get started. If you get a warning, go ahead and click Open. Click the Continue button to look through the SiteGrinder3 license agreement, then click Agree. SiteGrinder3 will find your installation for Photoshop automatically. If it does not, click the button below to locate another version of Photoshop. This next message is important. You'll need to run Photoshop CS5 in 32-bit mode to run SiteGrinder3. We'll discuss how to do that shortly. The reason why you'll need to run Photoshop in 32-bit mode is because Adobe has not yet released Flash Player in 64-bit mode. This completes the installation of SiteGrinder3. There's a README guide that is included with SiteGrinder3. It will launch in your default web browser. If you wish to learn more about SiteGrinder, there are some links to the Essentials Guide, Reference Guide, and also the Learning Center. Photoshop CS5 is the first 64-bit option for Photoshop on the Mac. At this time, SiteGrinder3 is not compatible with the 64-bit version. To ensure that SiteGrinder3 will work with Photoshop CS5, option click or right click if you've got a 2-button mouse or trackpad on the Photoshop icon and select Get Info. The information box will display and an option to press the checkbox Open in 32-bit mode. Check the checkbox, then close the information box. Then launch Photoshop. If you selected the Open in 32-bit mode option, you'll see the Photoshop launch screen has an X32 next to the version number. Now that Photoshop is loaded, click the File menu, then drag your mouse down to Automate, and you'll see SiteGrinder3 installed. Note that SiteGrinder2 can be installed at the same time.